today?
He got a number of them. I spoke with him today. So that, because I want to know if as elected officials have privy to the savings. Because, and she said she had spoken to someone, I think probably or something, some years ago. And
I'd like to call the City of Benton Harbor Commission meeting to order on this Tuesday, January 3rd of 2023. We'd like to begin with an invocation by Commissioner Edward Isom, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by our Finance Director, please.
after name,
Lord, thank you for bringing us to this night, Lord, and just help us guide us through this new year, Lord, and that we can get things accomplished and expect great things from this city and for the people of this city. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
Pledge allegiance
allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America
and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's happened.
This brings us to our roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Adams?
Present.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
Present.
Commissioner Edwards? Commissioner Henderson? Present. Commissioner Henry?
Present.
Commissioner Isom?
Present.
Commissioner Singleton?
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats? Mayor Mohammed?
Present.
You have a quorum.
This brings us to the approval of minutes. Is there a motion for the approval?
Motion to approve.
Motion is made by Commissioner Adams. It is supported by Commissioner Henderson. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats? Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
Yes.
Commissioner Edwards? Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to the approval of accounts payable listing. Is there a motion for the approval?
Motion to approve.
Motion is made by Commissioner Adams. Is there support?
Support.
It is supported by Commissioner Singleton. Is there discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats? Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
Yes.
Commissioner Edwards? Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry?
Yes.
Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion carries.
This brings us to citizens' comments. There's a 3-minute maximum per speaker. Please sign in with the city clerk, and she will call each participant accordingly. And just for a reference, you do not have to be a resident of the city to participate. It's open for the general public.
Spencer Nesbit?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like to say Happy New Year to everybody. This is a new year, and I know things are going to be a lot better this year than it was last year. You know, I was here in the last meeting, and I heard a lot of things that was going on. The commissioner, county commissioner gave a nice detailed plan of some grants and things that we could do to make the city go. Benton Harbor is basically sitting on a gold mine. It's up to our leaders to make this gold shine. And the way that I see that it's going to shine is the fact that we come together and work together and stop all the bickering, all the loud talking and argument, whatever you want to call it. You know, you can say anything, you can say I'm bashing you, I'm not. I'm just throwing some things out because we need to bring people into the city that has some type of professional background that can bring work to the city. So our city public workers can get raises. These people been working in this town city for years at $16 an hour. Even the standard has gone up some since then. So, you know, how can they continue to work? We're asking them to do things, and you get people in the city, get new equipment in, but you can't find people to run it, basically because they're not paying any money. They come in and you train them, they get something else, they're gonna go someplace else and get a job making more money. You know, and we need to start staying on the agenda. I know we have commissioner meetings on Wednesday. My opinion, I think some of those things need to be brought to the forefront then, rather than when you come out at the meeting, rather than sitting up arguing about it, you can make those arguments then. you were saying that, we have slumlords, we have slum tenants. You are the tenant bosses. If you got a house that you're renting out to someone and they're not taking care of that house, that's up to you. The city should not have to put a code in there to make you go into your house and make sure your tenants is taking care of that property. That's your responsibility, not the city. So, we need to stop grandstanding, come together and make this city go. And like I said, it's a gold mine. We have grants coming in, fill out, do a paperwork for a grant. You have to get the little stuff in, the big stuff in, then once you get a tax base built, then we can start growing and we can have money coming in. It's a flow. You can't get stagnant. You get a stagnant water not flowing, it's gonna dry up and leave a pond, a hole or something in the ground. So that's what we're leading to right now. So let's work together to make this city like it should be when it was years ago. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Brown,
Thank you. Mayor and commissioners, it's great to be here tonight, my first work day in 2023. It's great to be at the Benton Harbor City Commission. As you know, some of you, that I'm the captain of the state police that is in charge of the Southwest region here. So I just want to talk about that it's our privilege to have our patrols and assistance with the Benton Harbor Department of Public Safety through the winter months in Benton Harbor. First time we've done that since I've been the captain. And the reason I made that decision is we really want to keep the momentum that we have of reducing violent crime and community engagement in the city throughout the winter. We don't want to avoid in what we're doing here in our partnerships. And so I think that's going to be positive through the winter. We did reduce our amount of personnel, but I can increase them at a minute's notice. But we plan on increasing back to our normal strength in March. So just want to let the city know that. I know Commissioner Singleton has been informed of this at the public safety meetings that he chairs. So I just want to highlight a few things that are really pleasing to me over the 2022 is the troopers that we assign here and the supervisors. They've had almost 2,500 citizen contacts, positive, some not so positive, with individuals breaking the law that we have to address. And we've had very few citizen complaints. And I know my second command is working with numerous pastors in town to resolve any issues that come up proactively to make sure that our officers are operating professionally and that every citizen contact, we treat everyone with dignity and respect. Doesn't matter what they're doing. So that's one of our top priorities. And we've had great success this year. I'm not going to read you the statistics. You can get them through the Public Safety Committee, but I'm really pleased with the activity and our partnership with Chief McGinnis and local agencies around Benton Harbor. So I'm looking forward to some great momentum in 2023, and we'll see what the crime stats say. I know this was one of the few cities in Michigan that we have state troopers assigned that violent crime only went up 0.4%, basically flat, with the great work that we're doing down here and with your support and invitation for us to work in the Benton Harbor community. So thank you very much. And I'm always available in Pawpaw or where I live down here in Barron County for any questions about anything. So thank you.
Thank you, Captain. No objections from the council, Commissioner.
Thank you, sir. Do you have cards? If you could leave your information with.
Yep, I have a bunch of cards in my pocket here. I may have enough. If not, I have some more in the car.
Thank you.
And but I'm a very easy guy to get a hold of.
Thank you.
So, but thank you again, Commissioner.
Thank you.
And Captain, if you wanted to share some of the statistics, if there's no objection from the council, I yield to the captain.
All right, I can go through a few things. From March through November, the troopers and sergeants seized 107 illegal handguns off the streets of Benton Harbor. So, and I think a few of those were in Benton Township too, but predominantly right around Benton Harbor. They had 2,552 traffic stops for a variety of reasons. Like I said, very few citizen complaints. They had 99 fugitives that were arrested that had existing warrants, whether they're from local, Kalamazoo, Indiana, out of state. And this year was kind of interesting that there was a lot more drug arrest than the previous year. So quite a bit of methamphetamine and pills. So I noticed that was unusual. And I know the chiefs talked about stolen cars coming into town, and they recovered 11 stolen vehicles. And important thing on the firearms, and I'll talk about a couple community events, that there was a program that can link a firearm from being shot to another crime scene by the casings and the bullets. And they identified 16 weapons, some involved in homicides, that were traced to other crimes, both in Michigan and in Indiana, that were recovered on some type of traffic stop. So 19 stolen firearms, and you may have saw the video with the ATF that the troopers also recovered 4 of the fully automatic modified firearms, the pistols, in town. So as you can tell, that our public safety and officers and troopers, can be some volatile situations that they're dealing with professionally. So a couple of community things, and I remember a year ago I noticed a young child at the Benton Harbor Little League. He was left-handed, right? But he had a left-handed glove like a right-hander has. And every time he'd field the ball, he'd take the glove off and throw it with his left hand. And I was like, we can't have children in Benton Harbor that don't have a glove when they show up to Little League. So through one of our state police charities, they raised $5,000 and donated equipment and baseball gear and uniforms to the Benton Harbor Little League this year. So there's a lot more other community engagement. That one's kind of near and dear to me since I saw it myself and told my commanders, I said, hey, we can't let that happen. So let's see what we can do for the Benton Harbor Little League. But thank you very much for the extended time in being here in 2023. So I won't be a stranger, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Yep.
So we have no more comments. However, I was emailed a request for comments to be read during the meeting from Shaquille Turner. The city of Benton Harbor was granted thousands of dollars to purchase residents' PPE during the pandemic. On March 27, 2020, the Federal Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, known as CARES, was signed into law to assist communities in their efforts to prevent, prepare for, and respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. Is there a list that shows where the face masks, hand sanitizer, etc. went? Many of the residents within Benton Harbor never received it. A few months ago, I emailed the full body as well as the city manager pictures of public works dumping within the city limits. What was the outcome? Has the full body come up with an action plan for 2023 on how to address illegal dumping? I'm not just talking about the cameras, but what action? According to the city mayor, when the city opened the city chamber back up, he stated that if the residents had questions and or concerns, to email or phone the city manager. However, that's a lie. What's the next option the residents should take? I would like to have my questions answered. Thanks.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I want to say something about the building I stay in.
By all means,
Come in.
you have the floor. You have the floor. You can sit right there. That's fine.
Okay, it started I live in Howard Tower. It started Friday when the lights went out. And I had called the maintenance people to come. I couldn't get hold of him, so I called the commissioner. Cause I was in there from I like went out from 9:30 to 4 in the morning. And I have asthma. I was breathing hard and everything. I couldn't locate nobody. Then for Christmas, I had a big old flood on our floor from the 5th to the 1st. I called the maintenance man again. Then I called the commissioner again. He said he been trying to call people and they wouldn't answer. So I called Dr. Time out Pastor because I know he knows lots of people. And he said he was going to call some people for us. So he called me and said, Miss Hill said, get 30 people to go to the hotel and some can go to the Boys and Girls Club and some can go to the churches. So when I was headed downstairs, I ran across the maintenance man and I was telling him what Dr. Time said. And he said he just got through talking to Miss Hill, and Miss Hill just said the Boys and Girls Club. So I had him call Dr. Time for my phone. I called, and Dr. Time repeated everything what he told me. He said Miss Hill do. So I was in my house, water way up to my knees, and my and my grandkids, they were there. They couldn't even have Christmas. then they turned the water off on us, and I had to call my other kids to my flu because I'm kind of handicapped on my right side, and the water just wasn't stopping. The water didn't stop until Tuesday. And Miss Hill going to come that Wednesday, asked me that I won't go to the hotel. The water was already up, and I've been staying there 2.5 years. Never had trouble, and never been behind my rent. And they treated us so wrong in that building. See, they try to cover up stuff. Every morning I get up, maintenance man be mopping with old dirty water be smelling. The last 2 days, on time smell good in the whole business I've been living there. They got the maintenance man had sweeping. Then a lot of people sleep in them little hallways like by me, and they trying to cover up so much when people there paying their bills should be in their apartment comfortable. And the way they treat us that Friday and Christmas and two Wednesdays, that just was ridiculous. They is not every time they is not open. On time they really can say they did on the 1st and 3rd. They got 2 wash machine and full dry. People can't even hardly wash their clothes. I had so much damage in my living room, my kitchen, and my closet, and when none of them come to see about me or nobody who had the water damage. And that's just wrong. That's just wrong. Then for Miss Hill tell Dr. Time one thing did when she came to my house, I was telling her, and she just kind of brushed it off, and I figured, that was not right the way I be treated. I don't bother nobody in this building. I try to help everybody who I can, and then when the maintenance man came, then one of the maintenance man, he was drunk. The other was high, and I was telling him what was going on. He just, then they cut the elevator off where couldn't nobody even go down on the elevator. They had one man by the elevator with 2 hours, and they were going to come back and get him. He was in the wheelchair. It's just, they coming up so much in Howard Tower. I didn't want to come. I had to let y'all know. Something need to be happening in that building. They think everybody in that building drug and alcohol or crazy or dumb. That's how they treat us. And I think you're supposed to treat people as you want to be treated. And it's just dumb for Christmas. we couldn't have no Christmas because the water was way up to our knees, you know. And then I think the next day somebody would have came and talked to us, try to help us get the water up. No, they didn't come into Tuesday. They say that they were walking the building last on their head down. Then Miss Hill came, you know, Wednesday, you know, when I was explaining to her, you told Dr. Tab, you know, you the lady said she would not even respond to us. And she just said, you want to go to the hotel? And all the water up. Then after we had another flood, you know, it wasn't so bad, just like came little in my closet, little in by my kitchen, by the hallway. They didn't still do nothing. And on the first floor, the big old flood, it's like a waterfall came from the first stair.
Well, we,
And then
thank you for your witness and what you shared. Our public safety department, inspection department is working with the city manager's office as well as HUD to address what you have so stated. There'll be inspections, examinations. There's already a list of things that have been addressed, and I will yield to the Director of Public Safety, just if you can give us a report on that.
Yes, sir. So, thank you for coming. I don't know your name. I think it was 513. There has been ongoing issues with our towers. Try to be politically correct. Situation happened this weekend or last weekend, and it was bad. So with the pipes bursting, the power going down, the pipes burst several times, even up until yesterday. Made a already bad situation for them even worse. Again, make a long story short, we've had documentation going back for several years, all in Harbor Towers. Met with some resistance, she stated, but we were, and I don't know if Mitch can speak to this, it was important enough to me. I actually was on vacation in New Orleans, but when that hit ahead, you know, I was on the phone with people to get this done. So ultimately, when we got the resistance, we contacted HUD. I was in town today, walked through the building, they saw what they needed to see. They had a brief meeting with our housing staff. We have another meeting coming up, I won't say tomorrow, in this couple of days with them on what HUD is saying. Here's what we want to have done. Look like it's either going to be more likely going to move everybody out, get them other locations, and either put money to that building and revamp it. It's got to be totally gutted. Totally gutted. It's all types of things going on. Vermin, mold, broken pipes, you name it, or raised. So the plan is being put in place on what HUD is telling them what needs to be done with these residents. So these were the big wigs that came down from, I'm not sure if it was Gramps, Detroit, but these were the directors of the region that came down. So Fire Marshal Kazarzik, as well as Chief Code and Compliance Bruce, have been all over this. So we are happy that we have gotten movement. I hate that it came to be this bad, but we got some movement. So we continue to monitor, continue to go over there, help the best we can with the residents. And that is where we are. We will keep you apprised and in full report of public safety.
Thank you, Chief. Madam Clerk, any other? Thank you for everyone that participated in the public comment section. This brings us to our consent calendar items. Is there a motion for the approval of the consent calendar as presented? Motion is made by Commissioner Adams and is supported by Commissioner Henderson. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Yes.
Commissioner Adams,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
yeah,
Commissioner Edwards,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to our staff comments. I yield to the Director of Public Safety, Director McGinnis.
Welcome back. You'll make 2 meetings in a row after this year. I know you. So Greetings, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, and it's going to be that. Look for great things in 2023. I don't have anything to report as of now. One thing I do want to offer, and I was going to send out an email, they've been busy moving forward in reference to chat with the chief. I want you all to know that that is not just for me in public safety. I want to include everything and everyone in the city. So I'm moving the time frame. I haven't solidified it yet to get people who work during the day better access. So I'll be reaching out. I'd like to have every commissioner come on. There's some things I'd like to talk about. I would like to come to your committee, if that's okay, communications and talk. I don't want you to me, but those are some things they're working on, getting the word out on the great things that we're doing and to meet all of us individually. So look for some information on that. And that is all I have for now. I'll be away at public safety next week. That'll have more information. But again, let's have a great 2023. Good to see you all. Thank you for all your support for us. Oh, last thing, we were awarded another $15,000 grant. We're going to get some cleaning, some special wash and dryer for fire turnout gear, because across the nation, cancer for firefighters is extremely high. There's been a lot of money thrown at getting firefighters in healthier situations and getting their gear cleaned and having a second set of gear. As you know, we got a grant last year, I think this year, for a second set of gear to reduce the occasions of cancer and firefighters. And as you know, we're high volume here. Even with a successful campaign and getting our fire fleet down, we still have quite a few. So that was I found out today. So we'll continue to do that. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes, Mayor, thank you.
Chair recognizes our city assessor, Assessor Story.
Good evening. I don't have anything for announcement.
Thank you. Chair recognizes our city finance director, Director Williams.
Thank you and happy New Year's to everyone. And I don't have anything to report as of today, but I do want to make a statement regarding the bad press that we have received. I would like to thank Commissioner Adams for following up with me when she got a hold of that story on my drive home that night. And it was before any of you had heard about it. She had got wind of it. She let me know, so I was able to get ahead of it. So when I got to work the next day, I started making multiple phone calls, speaking to many individuals to find out what the story was about. And after my research, I found out that it wasn't true. Right, and so after I had spoke with the city manager, because we had a discussion also, and I had mentioned to him that I would be surprised to hear them come out with an article saying that they were sorry for that article. And lo and behold, the city manager had let me know that they did indeed apologize for that after the mayor had spoke with them and let them know what had taken place and the reason behind it. And I'm not going to go into detail to explain why they were wrong, but those who are privy to the information understand why they were wrong. And so that's all I would like to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Williams. Chair recognizes our city clerk, Clerk Moore.
No report, thank you.
Chair recognizes our fourth ward commissioner, Commissioner Clark Griffin.
Good evening, everybody, and Happy New Year. I'm feeling really good today. I did my health assessment, my cholesterol was good, the blood pressure, blood sugar. They say actually phenomenal and some of the best ever. So I'm feeling really good. Also, this is my 1 year anniversary. I've been in my seat 1 year. I've got a lot of great things lined up already for this year. And I just say, if I would do a year in review, we got the Fourth Ward Resource Fair done, and also open it up to the community. We got prayer walks throughout the ward. Also did cleanup and did gave away 100 senior care packages and toys giveaway in this year. For the Fourth Ward. So, like I said, I'm expecting great expectation, and I got a lot of things, great things coming for my ward and even the community. In the Juneteenth, I've been the co-chair for 5 years there on that committee, and we're getting bigger and better every year. I like to be at the table and plan it, not take credit for everything that somebody else is planning or hosting, or, you know, I'm at the table. Keep working with me, keep supporting me, and I'm gonna keep fighting for you guys, and you know, just expecting some great things. And I'm just super excited, and I thank God. To God be the glory. I thank God for letting us all make it to the new year.
Yeah.
We made it. So, you know, just feeling good, and great things coming.
Thank you. Chair recognizes our third ward commissioner, Commissioner Henry.
Thank you, Chair. I want to thank the citizens for coming out tonight, and it is a happy new year. This is our time, and so where we're gonna be is to get all of that federal money that's flowing down to us, and it's gonna be a lot of it. And so what we have to do is put ourselves in position. And when I say ourselves, I'm speaking of the citizens, the residents of Benton Harbor. Residents, put the residents in place to benefit from that great pot of money that's floating down. And I have to keep saying it's a big pot of money. And as long as we, as elected officials, do the right thing, our grandkids and our great-grandkids will appreciate it. If not, they'll look back and ask us, why is it like this? So here we go, a new thing, and it is for us. And we're a minority community. It's all for us. So we have to ask for what we want, tell people what we need, not what they think we need. We have to get what we need. So I'm very optimistic about what's going to happen. And we just got finished with Kwanzaa, and the Benton Harbor African Arts and Culture decided that they were going to keep the tradition going. So we did it again this year, and it was very, very, very impressive. And the principles of Kwanzaa is going to take us, the nation, in the right way. You've got to embrace something, and the principles of Kwanzaa fits just perfect for our benefit. So I think Commissioner Ethel Clark, she showed up in Kwanzaa. Commissioner Isom showed up. It's funny, we had people come to Kwanzaa that had never been there, didn't know anything about it. They are promised to embrace the principles. So everybody Google Kwanzaa and embrace some of those principles, your everyday life. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Henry. Chair recognizes our second ward commissioner, Commissioner Edwards.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'd like to say to everybody, have a happy new year. I would like to just to be duly noted. Whatever success I have done or whatever part that I've helped somebody, I give that honor to God. If that's not printed, I'm gonna deny everything after that. I was watching TV today and I see the House. They're looking for a House Speaker. And the first time they went around, oh, we gotta do this again. I'm sitting there like, okay, I gotta spend another 3 hours to watch them count to 277. They did it again. And then they came up with this, I don't know, I heard them say something about the speakers are gonna be a bunch of people. different walks of life and all that, they were going way off. I don't know what they did because I left. I was tired. I went outside. But this what came to my mind. If you need somebody to speak for that many people, and you can't even pick who should speak for who, we in bad shape. Think about it. A House Speaker, he ain't the president, he's the Speaker of the House. And when 3 or however many parties there are, when they can't say, one person can't say the country, say, oh, you know what, this is crazy. I'm gonna vote for a speaker regardless if I like him, regardless of the party. This is totally ridiculous. But it lets me know that there's a lot of people don't have a speaker. I want to thank the witness for coming out. I mean, the resident for coming out. And a lot of people ask me, you know, since it's been going on, what I think, why are you in there? I'm in there. And I'm going to stay in there. They asked me, did I want to move? I said, no. When you move the last person out, then I'll move. I'm their speaker. All 9 of us got to speak for somebody. When it comes to the game, quit playing it. Because you hurt more people than you think you hurt. And people quit going out. You sitting out there, quit going out there telling stuff you had no idea what's going on. I got back, there was a bomb in the building. Somebody told me there's a bomb in the building, they get ready to evacuate. What? Let me go. Went out there, it was just a gas truck. Then they said it was another one, that just some dude ran into a telephone pole. They were trying to say all kinds of stuff. They're trying to take over Harvard Tower, you know. But I said all that. Remember that. That House Speaker has something to do with our life while we sitting right here, while we joking. So let's not play that game. If you don't like the dude, we need one. You say, well, I'm not going to vote for a devil. Well, that's the same thing the other side said. So that's why we're going 3 times around. Because both of us are devils. And we just mad because one of them made a bigger devil. I think my time is up. Yeah. Welcome, everybody. Hey, check this out. This is my 3rd year. So I love each and every one in this building. I want you to know that. Chief, welcome back. Thank you very much, Commissioner Ethel Clark Griffin. Congratulations on your 1st year. Love you all.
Thank you, Commissioner Edwards. Chair recognizes our first ward commissioner, Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Just like to thank the residents for coming out. Thank the resident. What's your name, ma'am? What's your name? Thank you for coming out and sharing what happened there. There has been a lot of talk about Harvard Towers and trying to do some work, as the chief talked about, and them meeting resistance. So it's good to hear that there will be real movement now with that particular building and getting people decent housing. Just excited about the new year and all of the great things that will be happening in the city of Benton Harbor. We are definitely on the move. There are a lot of great projects that'll be coming up this new year, a lot of activities and things that'll be happening in our community that will benefit the residents of this great community. We are not where we once was, and we are far from done with the community in the city of Benton Harbor. So I'm so excited for the new year. Again, happy new year to everybody. Happy new beginnings, new starts, whatever that looks like for you. But I'm just glad to be a part of what's happening in our great community. Thank you all and have a great night.
Thank you, Commissioner Henderson. Chair recognizes Commissioner at Large Adams.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. And Happy New Year's, everyone. Oh, gosh. The story from the young ladies just stuck with my heart and stopped me from, gosh, where my mind really was. But I want to touch base on what one of the residents spoke on about, what County Commissioner Mamie Yarborough spoke on with the valuable information that she shared for homeowners assistance. I happened to give them a call to find out even more information because from Washington to the state to local government, red tape can hold up a person progress of quality of life. And what I found out when I called was it's not as easy as it sounds. And what I wanted to know was there a physical place that a person can take their documents, because everybody doesn't have a scanner or printer to be uploading things to a computer, and not everybody is computer savvy. So where is a walk-in office? I was shocked to hear that there wasn't one in Berrien County, but the nearest one was Kalamazoo. And I think that's something that we need to fix, especially if we are trying to set up an office, and we actually need to, and we're overdue for a justice office to take care of the things that ALPAC was actually created for in the beginning, to open up an office to take care of a lot of cases that were hiding under a stack of papers and never being heard. I'm just stuck on growing up in Benton Harbor, and as a little girl, with all the trucks and movement in the community, how we come over here just a block away and watch this beautiful building being built. And it was for elderly people then, and how during the winter, Christmas season, the people from the Salvation Army would go out throughout the whole community and sing Christmas carols and stuff, and all the kids would follow up behind them. We learned how to sing some beautiful Christmas carols. But it was a beautiful sight. At our last meeting, I spoke on a theme, and I drew a person into it, and it wasn't personal, and I'm glad that he forgave me, because the next morning I woke up, he was the first person on my heart and mind, and the first number that touched my phone. And we had a conversation, because it wasn't about a person. It was about the complaints that Commissioner Mary Alice Adams gets. And I'm not a board member of the Housing Commission, but as a beautician, I hear a lot of stories about a lot of things in my community, which is the very thing that brought me down here to do what I can to improve the quality of life for my residents on every level. And that place over there needs to be deemed a state of emergency. It's foul. When I was out campaigning, I wouldn't want to live there, but some people have no other choice. And as it relates to Washington and the mess that goes on, I heard one alligator state that when you're trying to drain the swamp, you don't put the biggest alligator in charge. But the one whose lips was moving is just as big as that alligator. But hopefully they will get it together. And during every presidential year, there's money that's handed down and earmarked for certain things. In this predominantly Black community, and across the globe of Earth, 400 years are up. This is our season, and we need to embrace it, work together, and get ish done for our people and ourselves. We're not animals, and we don't have to live like that. We don't have to treat each other the way we do. We're losing a lot of people due to gun violence. We're losing some. Our hearts are failing. Even as babies, asthma, everything. I got an email right before I came here with an introduction to work with environmental people on air quality and so many other things. I don't know who give these people my name, but use me, Lord. Use me to help my people. I saw our president walk in, if I may. I heard the radio show and it was good. And there's some wonderful things that have been happening. But I'm gonna end with this. And not only the mayor knows, but my other colleagues know. There's an ingredient that's missing with the conversation that you had. And that would be Manchester Bidwell Arts and Training Technology Center. And this body needs to take care of business. And working together with our school to put our people on the right training and career path. Because they're gonna come in and train us, just a few, and put us in our respective places of what we do best. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Chair recognizes the Commissioner at Large, Ice.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. All the comments, thank you, Mr. Nesbitt, for coming and voicing your concerns. Mr. Brown, Captain Brown, thank you for that update. And just like Commissioner Henry said, that Kwanzaa, I never went to a Kwanzaa event. I thought it was about Christmas. I never really participated until I started reading the principles and all that. It's some happy stuff that can bring the Black community, the community together, you know. I think I can say one word, Umajan. I think Commissioner Henry, I think I got it right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm learning. It's a learning process. I'm not too old to learn.
Interpreter.
I was there, Mr. Duncan. I was there. We must help the people in Harvard Tower. We must. There's gotta be something done. Got to be.
Just do it.
Gotta be something to live better. It's nothing wrong with having a nice place to go and lay your head down. Everybody deserves that, you know. Instead of paying your rent, you gotta live in bad situations, you know. That's why I say expect great things. How can I say expect great things and living in places like that? I want to thank Chief McGinnis getting us started with HUD. Just looking at this thing, it got to be put in the forefront. That these people living in bad situations, So I still say expect great things to happen. Something going to happen. Just by her coming out and voicing her words of crying out. That's a start right there. That's it. God hear you. That's it. The people hear you. Expect great things to happen. Expect great things to help in the Ben Harbor education, in the health. Everything's happening in Ben Harbor. We got a health center downtown. Better education, jobs, lead line repairs, lead lines in your house getting repaired. Things are happening in this city. Expect great things. Expect great things. Expect the Detroit Lions to play on it. It's going to happen. Expect great things for the year 2023. Happy New Year. God bless you. God bless Ben Harbor.
Thank you, Commissioner Isom. Go Lions. The chair recognizes our Park and Rec and Public Safety Chairman, Commissioner Simmons.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Say Happy New Year to everyone. Young lady that Harvard Tower was I'm glad that you had the courage to come and give testimony. I hate that you had to endure it, but hopefully through those adversities that something good happened. I believe it will. This ball's already in motion. Sometimes it takes stuff to come to the forefront. It's, as Chief said, it's been some issues for some time. Place even got a nickname, New Jack City. So you know, but it's time out for, you know, making light of it or making fun of it. It's time for some action to get it correct. So thank you for sharing your testimony, and I hope it wasn't in vain, and I believe it's not. So, Captain Brown, I thank you for your report and service that you guys are doing. You know, I like the approach. It was said some time ago that, you know, just come in and, you know, rough child and, you know, uncaring, that haven't been the case. You know, I know since you've been in there, you embraced a community policing type policy. So thank you for that. Looking forward to continued service. I had ended the last meeting with a quote that talked about the line that, you know, halfway around the world, and what the truth is, you know, lacing up his shoes and not knowing, you know, that, you know, a few days later or so that, you know, that line would, you know, get going around the world. But as I said, the truth caught it. The truth caught it, and the truth came out, and, you know, people did retract and apologize. So, you know, what can we say? You know, but that brings me to my next point, is that communications. You know, it's when folks, you know, bad news, get out there and just stay out there. But we don't jump on it, you know, and just put the truth out. You know, whether it's good or bad, but put the truth out. I think we've made some efforts to start moving in that direction. There's things with the communications committee, and, you know, other groups are coming together to put out, you know, the real truth. You know, it's good to see the, you know, young leaders here, you know, school board president, commissioner, you know, that just let us know that, hey, it's the young folk are getting involved also. We had the show on 5.3 Urban Talk radio show, which I host and Mayor co-host this past Friday. Mr. Henderson was there. But it was real informative. The school board president got a chance to come out and give her a year in review. Can I bear?
Yes, sir.
Take 4 minutes, she'll go back.
We're making good time.
Yeah, good time. But, yeah, you know, that information needed to get out. I was very impressed. The state rep, he was there, gave his, you know, position on, you know, what happened this year and some of the things that, you know, that he's looking forward to do in Lansing. One of the good things I heard is that, you know, he's going to open up an office right here in Benton Harbor, so it'll be accessible to, you know, the community. I don't think that has happened in my lifetime. You know, I'm up there, so I'm not quite on this roof, but it haven't happened, you know, since I've been living there. I know of it, and so that's just let you know that Benton Harbor is on the map. Benton Harbor has ears in high places. You know, we have an opportunity here to just make the whole community great. You know, but we had to have that communications going, and it all be for nothing if our residents don't know what's going on. So I think getting this information out, getting them involved, having meetings, community meetings, town hall meetings on the radio, just keep the talk going and the information out there, and everything's gonna come together. That's my good buddy would say, expect great things.
Thank you, Commissioner Singleton. Chair recognizes the city manager of the city of Benton Harbor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Just want to say Happy New Year to everyone. And I want to say to the people over in Harbor Towers, this is a serious matter, and we're not leaving it to the Housing Commission or anyone to take care of it. We talked to HUD on Thursday, and they were here on Friday. We talked to them on Thursday, they had a meeting with us on Friday, they were here today. So this is very serious. We're not gonna just sit back and wait for it to happen, we're gonna make it happen.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Chair recognizing Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, Commission. Happy New Year to everybody. I mean, we sit there sometimes. We amaze each other, I guess, because we had a meeting with the staff at Harbor Towers probably about 5 years ago. I said we should have disbanded that whole board. We had complaints. We still got complaints. We've always had complaints about the way the tenants have been treated. And now we act like it's something brand new and something that, we never heard of, but I keep on going, but when things happen, where there's smoke, there's fire. The elevators had not been working for years. There's been problems in that building for years, and they came back and said they reconstructed and fixed it, and we never followed up behind it. And I'm not blaming none of us. But what I'm saying is this has been going on for a lot of years. So a lot of us sitting there acting like we don't know nothing about it, but we know a lot about it. That building has been a problem for years. Wilson Cook died and they had him out there in a video on YouTube saying that was one of the most beautiful buildings in the city. They had him there with a fireplace and a dog saying that people need to come move to Benton Harbor with that building. That building has been a travesty for years. And I apologize to any tenant that's over there now that's living in that condition. And we've known. Let's quit playing. We've known. Nobody on this body can say they have not known. We walked elevators. We walked the halls. We know that stuff was defective over there for years. And so to go after local landlords, to go after other people, and yet with the landlords that we have enacted on these boards are not doing what they're supposed to do, then we're just as guilty as anybody else. We keep putting people on these boards, we keep allowing them to do whatever they want to do, and we have not restrained them or corrected them for what has happened. So, I concur. I'm appreciative of this young man who won county commissioner. Thank God for that. The young man next to him, he's with the community organizer for great time. Thank Captain Brown, he's been around here for good years and making good things happen. But what are we gonna do now? What's next? What is happening to where we're going to empower these people to do what they have to do? And the truth of the matter is, and as Commissioner Singleton has just said, is so eloquently stated, and I'll leave you with this, that an organized lie is more powerful than disorganized truth. I'll say that one more time for y'all that didn't want to act like y'all heard it. An organized lie is more powerful than disorganized truth. And a lot of people are given organized lies that have been more powerful than our truth that we don't want to put together because we have underlying issues. So let's stick with the truth and let the truth prevail. And if we let the truth prevail, we don't have to do underhanded stuff to each other. Because the truth will prevail at the end. And if we really want to be honest, and Mayor, you gave a couple other people about 10 other minutes. Mayor, Commissioner Lodge, I know asked for 3 seconds. But Shockwave Pittsford opened up the door for your state rep. If he would not have put his feet to the ground, you would not be hearing about the state rep who redistricted in order to get a position. That's why you ain't never had a office in Benton Harbor, because they redistricted to get somebody to have that position. And I'll close at that. Thank you, Honorable Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Seats. I'd just like to thank all the residents for coming out and say Happy New Year. Dr. King said that undeserved suffering is redundant. So I believe that although the saga and the story of Howard Towers has come to a breaking point, and many people have suffered over the years, I believe that there's a good guy, and that he's going to take a situation that's terrible, and that he's going to bring something good out of it.
Yes.
There are some things in the works where we have already started discussing making that building as it was only for senior citizens, 55 and over. And at the end of the day, it's going to take investment. Harbor Towers is at least 50 years old. And the great storm of 2022, it broke it. The pipes, the infrastructure old, just like the lead. It cost $32 million to address the lead issue. It's going to take at least 5 to 7 million to address Harbor Towers. And that's going to take some partnering. That's going to take some very creative things if HUD just don't knock it over. So there's some things on the table, but I think that staff has been working with displacing where hotels have been contacted and people will be moved to safe, clean living quarters until this issue is resolved. So that's already in the works. It has been in the works. The night that they called, there was only 6 rooms because of the night before when all of Benton Harbor nearly didn't have any. So it was an overbooking of rooms. But now that the rooms have become available, we have a staff person that's here. I'm not trying to put nobody on the spot, but they're working on it, and people will be moved to those safe locations. I was honored to be one of the governor's guests at the inauguration. The party was out of sight. I ain't did a New Year's party in a long time. But they had the mayor hanging out, not after 12. And I had my wife with me. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
And
amen.
The inaugural ceremony was the energy that was there. It's something new happening in the state of Michigan.
Yes.
And I do believe that Michigan will be an example.
Okay.
Got an opportunity to talk shortly with the minority leader, Senator Nesbitt, who was at the inaugural, and another Republican representative. And I believe that the governor is going to work across the aisle in order to bring Michigan together to serve as an example, so we don't see what's happening where we cannot choose a leader. The state of Michigan chose a leader.
All right.
And she is prepared to move this state forward. I did have an opportunity to have lunch with the Speaker of the House, first ever Black male to be the Speaker of the House, rotating for the state of Michigan, and he plans to come to Benton Harbor. So it's a lot of great things. Benton Harbor is in the eye of what's happening.
Diamond in the rough.
At the legislative luncheon, it was Mayor Neely and myself. dining or lunching with all of the state legislators. So we had an opportunity to rub shoulders and network. As JD the jeweler said, either you're networking or you're not working. And we were networking on behalf of the residents of Benton Harbor. So look forward to great things in this new year. 2023 is our time, it's our year. As I stated, we accept the apology of the Michigan Capitol.
Say that one more time.
Which is supposed to be the watchdog.
That's what they say, yeah.
For corruption.
Yes, sir.
In the state of Michigan. Only to find out that every penny, dime, and nickel was accounted for, is accounted for. All of our reports that were supposed to go to the federal government has already gone. And the Personnel and Finance Committee, our Director of Finance, our Personnel Chair will give a report of the ARPA funds. And then we also will have it placed on the website where the people can click and see how every penny has been used. And we still have close to $5 million to be spent moving forward.
Don't drop the mic.
So have a wonderful evening. God bless. Happy New Year. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Commissioner Adams, supported by Commissioner Edwards, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin? Commissioner Clark Griffin? Yes. Commissioner Edwards?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson? Yes. Commissioner Henry? Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Shin?
Yes.
Commissioner Ortiz? Mayor Thomas?
Yes.
Motion carried.
See y'all next year.
Yeah, I know.